Hello, friends. How is everyone doing? Welcome to another episode, I think episode 9 now, of Real Reviews. I am very happy to be here once again and hope that you'll have a good time with me today. Initially, the plan was to have Ash Reed on, but unfortunately, due to work commitments, which happens in the game audio industry, he wasn't able to make it, but we'll do another episode with him very soon. So yeah. Hey Ben, great to have you. Yeah, today we have a couple of reels. So we have actually 4 to be precise. And I have such a huge backlog, so I'm trying to get through this backlog of awesome reels, and yeah, basically just struggling at the minute to to do enough of these to get through them all. But yeah, definitely gonna work through those, and yeah, just really cool that people are enjoying these so much and are submitting tons of reels. But yeah. Other than that, what's happening? I think, yeah, so there's a couple of new YouTube videos in the pipeline as well, which is exciting, but currently I don't have time to edit. The editing process is always the hardest, and it takes a lot of time, so I'm trying to streamline everything. But yeah, new videos will be coming up soon. Other than that, yeah, life is good. Finally getting warm again. So it's nearly 6 now, and since we've got 4 reels, I think we'll just jump right into it. It's not 6, I mean 7 p.m. UK time. But what's cool is I've upgraded my streaming setup a little bit, and yeah. What am I working on? I'm not allowed to say what I'm working on. Classic NDA situation, unfortunately. Games industry, but it's very cool. It's a cool project, and yeah, very creatively fulfilling. So that's always very nice when you get to do stuff that's fun and work on games that you'd also actually play. Because sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, when you're working on stuff that you're actually really excited to play as well, that's always super cool. So yeah, definitely excited to tell the world, but that will have to wait. But eventually. Oh, YouTube wise, what am I working on? My bad. Sorry, I thought like work wise. Yeah, YouTube wise. So at the moment, I'm actually working on a video doing a little bit of a studio tour. So that should be fun. Hopefully, basically just yeah, walkthrough of my whole space. You can see a teeny bit here in the background. I need to actually turn these lights on, which have no battery. Fantastic. But yeah, basically a whole walkthrough through my space, why I've set it up the way I have, what kind of like things I have in my studio, whatever, workspace, and yeah, basically kind of the reason I have all the gear that I do, what I use it for, etc. So yeah, that's currently going on, and then I've in the pipeline down the line, I'm also doing another sound library highlights video, which is very exciting. But yeah, at the moment, like I said, it's kind of a lot of work, so I'm trying to get into the editing flow and everything, and there's some other exciting stuff coming up with Air Wiggles and such that I am working on as well with Lewis Thompson. Shout out to Lewis, the wonderful yeah, my wonderful friend, co-worker, and fellow, I don't even know, doer of things with me. So yeah, right, let's get into some demo reels. I'm so happy now. I finally, like, I have a Stream Deck and I've had this for ages, but so bad at like just sometimes sitting down and doing all of these things. So I finally set up some cool transitions, but I have to click in and out of Reaper because I obviously have like all of my Reaper macros set up in the Stream Deck as well. So it's gonna be interesting. I might have to just import them as well into my Reaper setup. Anyway, first reel from Simona Malcheva. I hope that I have pronounced that correctly. Let's go. Very nice. Very cool. We've got some... I'm so happy I've also finally got a soundboard together, so we'll have some juicy sounds in here as well. I just wanted to ask, can people see the actual comments on the stream? Because for some reason it doesn't seem to be working. At least it doesn't show. I might have to quickly... Let's see, how can I do this? I can potentially make another tab. I'm trying to get the chat display, everyone, on the screen, so just bear with me for a second. And I'm gonna try my best. Okay. Let's see. YouTube chat. Will this work? Nope, it's not displaying, so okay. Hold on. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to actually get it to work. YouTube Studio. There we go. Boom. Let's go. Excellent. Cool. So now you can actually see what's happening. Okay, the not ideal in terms of the whatever it's called, dimensions. Come on. It's so hard. It's actually snapping to the grid, so all right. Well, this will have to do. We'll deal with it. Yeah. We'll deal with it for now, so we're just gonna do it like this. That'll have to do. Improvisation. Oh no, we've got the second one on the screen now. Oh, okay, actually, let's see. So how can I... There we go. Right. This is all over the place. Maybe I can do it like that. Well. Okay. We're just gonna leave it like this. Perfect. Hello everyone. Lots of you have joined in this moment. So once again, claps. Great reel. First and foremost, initial impressions and everything. So right at the start, epically long silence. This is so long. It's like, how many seconds of silence? Let's see. Ooh. 6 seconds, 7 seconds of silence. So yeah, that is incredibly illegal. In a reel, when you're sending a reel, for context, I've said this many times, people will already know. But you're sending it to a company, they've got an open position, they might get 80 reels, they might get 100 reels. If it's somewhere like PlayStation, they might get like 300 to 500 reels. So you really want to value and respect their time, make it short, bring like all the action into it immediately, make it like super hype. I want to sit here and I want to like be just immersed by your awesome reel. Silence at the start, especially like 7 seconds of silence, I'm just gonna start skipping, and once I start skipping, I might not stop skipping. So it's really dangerous to have like silence at the start. So just cut all of this or add some really cool sound, but like make it way shorter. Second thing is, so this is basically a mix between an implementation reel and an actual sound design reel. So split these apart. Implementation reels are awesome, especially basically, you know, showing off what you can do. But one of the big things is with implementation reels is basically that you don't want to have them basically on your kind of like sound design show reel. The reason for that being is that they showcase kind of more the technical side, and the technical side is really valuable, but it's not the place to show off where you're basically kind of doing your, you know, showing off all of your skills to be a sound designer. So this stuff is awesome, but create a separate implementation reel, put it on your website. Cut this down to about 1 minute, max like 1 minute 30, because if, again, like I said, if you're looking at 100 reels, that's 100 minutes of audio if everyone is 1 minute long. And so, like, that's a lot of stuff to go through. So basically, just make it short, make it snappy, make it really exciting. The third thing is you had a bunch of music in here. Places, I think. Here's music. Oops, I forgot to transition back. There we go. Okay, this music, I guess, is fine. This is from the implementation reel. Okay, there's actually only one part with music, but it pretty much stood out to me. So yeah, make sure there's no music. And hello, Anthony. Welcome to Reel Review. You can submit here, but there's quite a big backlog, like 2-3 months worth of backlog. As I do one of these usually every 2 weeks. I try to do them every 2 weeks. I might have to even ramp it up a little bit, but yeah, obviously I have only got so much time as well. So please do submit, but it might take a long time. Yeah, so like I said, get rid of the implementation part of the reel, put that on your website, and just focus on the sound design. Remove the music, no music in the sound design reel unless you're specifically applying to like a composer position, in which case like the compositions will be the highlight. But the music, the reason why we don't want to have music in sound design reels is because you can really hide behind the music. And yeah, essentially, like, we don't want to have... Yeah, we don't want to have the music kind of getting in the way of the sound design. If I'm hiring for a sound designer position, I just want to hear your sound design skills, none of the music. And yeah, so that's the main reason. So I'm going to skip all of the implementation stuff here because, like I said, we're just kind of looking more at the sound design, quote unquote, I don't know, creative sound design or whatever you want to call it, rather than technical. But like I said, this stuff is great. Just put it on your website. Right, so where does it begin? Here. Nice one. So yeah, really like this transition. Hello, Brent. Awesome to see you. Great to have you here. Right, so I've got some awesome buttons. I hope they're awesome that I made for this. The first one. I hope you could all hear that. Basically, stereo image. So the first thing that really stands out to me in this whole thing is that everything is super stereo. It's like incredibly wide. And when you're doing something like this, like a linear or even in a game, we want to have stuff spatialized. We want to get a really good feel for like where things are in the scene. So if we are looking at a big monster in front of us and it roars, it's cool to have a little bit more stereo stuff in there, but really important to also spatialize it and have mono elements. So yeah, make a bunch of these things mono. Things like the arrow, bow and arrow, they're like straight in the middle of the screen, and I can hear like going like past my ears and everything. So yeah. Hello, Sungmin, and hey, Steve. Awesome to see you both. I'm absolutely a huge fan of these beautiful like transitions and everything. You've got a nice like emote sound as well. This is all very cool. What I'm really missing here is the actual impact sound of the arrows, because this is one of our big pillars, which is first one, information, second, feedback, and third, world building. And so basically information here, really, and feedback combined, really important for us to have that feedback of us actually hitting the boss and doing damage. You can see here, we get a little damage thing here, but there's no sound corresponding to it. So just make sure that you bring those things in, so that, yeah, we can actually hear them. Again here, okay, this is relatively okay from a spatialization perspective, but yeah, it's just super stereo. This is nice. Right, so this section here. Okay, I'm gonna... My favorite button yet. Details, lots more details. I want all the details in there. I want to hear like the Foley of the characters kind of moving around. I'll just play it in the background. So I want to hear the Foley of the characters. I want to really hear, like, he's got so much like different equipment that's dangling and stuff. If you can kind of very easily take a bag and a bunch of other things and just shake them and get some really good Foley, that will sound amazing. I also feel like the UI sound, even though it's pretty cool, it doesn't really... It just totally takes you out of it. The UI sounds like something I would hear in terms of like a minimal UI, like on a PlayStation if I select a new game or something. But we're in a pirate game, and kind of like the soundscape, I would love to have the UI match a little bit more with what's happening kind of with the other sounds and on the screen. But the eagle here is very nice. Hold on. Here as well, maybe we could have some leaves of the branches when you like jump on it, and get some like stuff like that in there. Yes, friend, I absolutely designed them purposefully for this. I spent I don't know, like an hour throwing in some. There's more to come, but yeah, those are... I'll show off some more hopefully throughout this section, or this stream basically. Yeah, so this all sounds really cool. But I feel like I'm getting a lot more wood texture than stone, so I would love to hear more stone. So the wood is kind of like, okay, maybe it's like the mechanism below it, but I can hear a lot of wood, like that sounds very hollow, and all of this is mass. Like stone is not hollow, so you get more of a, I guess, rather than like the, if that makes sense. So then a thing like this is nice, but there's not that much going on in all of these different sections here. So when I'm looking at a reel, also kind of like this stuff is, these visuals are a little bit outdated. Like Black Flag is a great game. I'm not even sure if this is from Black Flag anymore. Yeah, I think so. But it's just like visually and everything, it's just not the newest. And one of the things, unfortunately, is that we are, like, the audio kind of almost degrades with the visuals. So the older the game looks, the worse your sounds seem, and not that they necessarily will sound bad, but basically if you have kick-ass incredible visuals, then the sound will just automatically feel better as well. because it's like really satisfying. So yeah, like make sure that if you can update your reel, you just use stuff that is a lot more current. When did Black Flag come out? Assassin's Creed Black Flag was released in, drumroll, 2013. Yeah, that's 10 years ago. So there's a lot of games that are really cool and newer. So next part. Here again, remove the music. See, the spatialization on this is really good. I think this is actually one of your best clips, so I will bring this to the front. The other thing to mention is, again, like, I can't hear anything on the gunshot impacts and stuff. So flesh it out, bring a little bit more in into this scene. Also, I'd love to hear more of the enemy foley as well. That will be really, really good. What's important, what I forgot to mention in the beginning, is it says here Halo Infinite Bastos boss fight, but what did you do? Like, is it a redesign? Did you also make the music? Did you work on this? I know you probably didn't, but like, basically this stuff is really important. So, because if you look at a game, and if you're applying to a junior position, most likely, obviously, if they see a Halo clip, it's like, yeah, you probably haven't worked on this, but it's really important because this can be very misleading, and so yeah, just make sure that it says redesign. Yeah, so the outro here is really, really cool. I think just some of the sounds, like the Foley is nice, but then here the voice is so stereo again, where it just feels really detached from the actual person or whatever this is. And then when he's reaching out and back here, there's like no Foley. Before you have Foley, and then no Foley. So just make sure that you bring in all of those details. I'll do it again. I'm just gonna never have enough of this button. Yeah, and then for the gunshot, after the gunshot, this just feels like it's cool, but it doesn't feel like what it should be. It's like very whooshy, but it's like the person is being incinerated and going into dust. So I would love to hear more of all of that. And yeah, that would just like the dust particles, maybe some kind of like more laser-ish ethereal sound. Basically something more exciting that has more details than this, because at the moment it's just kind of like one sound. And yeah, just again, these reels are here to really show off your sound design skills, so just try and pack it with as much awesome ear candy as possible. So yeah, overall, just again, cut it down 1 minute, get rid of the first part of the design reel, take that to your website. No silences, please. Get in, if you can, some more action clips with some more recent kind of, what's it called? Visuals, so games that have come out in the last couple of years rather than 10 years ago. Focus on the details. Yes, absolutely. And that voice is indeed me, Steve. And also Jack, hello, welcome. These are Beyerdynamic DT990 Pro. They're open back if you're in the studio by yourself. These are great. If you're in a loud room, they're not great. Get the closed ones. Where was I? Yeah, details. And yeah, just like pack in ear candy, get a bit more action in there, make it tighter. Get some inspiration from some of those other reels that have been posted in previous episodes. So just have a look through there to see what the structure and all of that is. But yeah, overall, another big applause. Well done.
I'm afraid our time isn't up yet. I'm a healer.
This is for your own good.
Only I can help.
Science movement to send us offline.
I can bring peace to all.
Ooh, I love the ding, ding, ding. Oh, I'm gonna struggle with his name. Wojciech. I hope I pronounced that even remotely correct. So let's see. Does this? So I'm not sure.
I'm afraid our time.
I assume that you did everything. I haven't seen this trailer. GTA is cool, but I'm not super into it, so I have no idea if you did all the voices and everything as well. Obviously, like I said, if this clip goes into a reel, please no music. Please no, yeah. Please make sure that you label what exactly you did, if you did the voices as well and stuff, redesign, you know, what exactly it is. But, yeah, that will be very, very helpful. Apart from that, I love the aesthetic on it. It's sick. Like, I actually think the beat works well. I'm gonna listen to it again.
I'm afraid our time isn't up yet. I'm a healer.
This is for your own good.
Only I can help.
Science movement to send us offline.
I can bring peace to all.
Nice. Yeah, cool stuff. I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, big one. Also, new button. I think I need to make that louder. I'm not sure, it's a little bit quiet for me. But yeah, details and transients. Big things. So here, I feel like this trailer could be a lot more punchy. Trailers in general are very punchy. You want to hit those transitions, hit those like cool moments. And when you have a beat behind it as well, you can make them even, you know, like stuff in, what's it called, in sync with the music. Even though, like I said, if this goes into real goodbye music, but otherwise if you're just putting it on your website or whatever, then that'd be a cool thing. It's really hard to, like Brent just said, it's kind of tricky to gauge the music as well, the sound design as well with the music going on. It's also partially just because I get so distracted by the music, so it's like hard for me to focus. But a lot of the things, what I would say is just, like I said again, details and transients. So the start is kind of cool. You've got the,
I'm afraid
like, I guess, smoking, inhaling maybe some drugs or whatever. Then we've got these trippy visuals. And then immediately
our time isn't up. Our time
go
isn't
into
up
the
yet.
garage and stuff. And then we have this, all of that stuff. So right here already, I love to hear a really very like prominent sound of the garage door going up, then followed by that as a perspective change from, I guess, the inside with like big reverb on that, and then we go into this crazy thing. So here I think it's a really big missed opportunity to have like some very, very cool like swing, whatever kind of cool stuff. Feels very much just like the music, so I would just kind of, again, make it pop, make it very cool.
I'm a healer.
This is for your own.
And then there's very like little sound design in all of this.
Healer.
This is for your own good.
So all of this, I don't know, like if you're doing the sound design, if I strip the music, I'd love to actually hear the ambiences and this stuff, the fire here, maybe some flanger on some of this stuff because it's like trippy and whatever.
Own good.
The Foley, you know, RPG and footsteps.
Only I.
Yeah, again, this is cool moment here, but like boom, make it punch, make a big transient out of it, intense moment, like really make it pop.
I can help.
And then here, oh, just so many whooshes, and like the camera's right in between everything. I love to just hear all of these cars really viscerally and physically like passing me. Can reference a bunch of the Need for Speed trailers and stuff like that for that. That stuff is awesome. So yeah, just check out some of those references.
Send a soft light.
I can bring peace.
Same here, another whoosh for the car. We just really want to play with those camera movements as well and the things passing the camera. Those are often things that I feel like inexperienced sound designers miss a lot. It's like the actual movement of the camera, especially in linear stuff, and like, yeah, things passing the listener in different ways. Hey Tyler, Aftertouch Audio, great to see you. And yes, boom.
Peace to all.
Again, opening. And then this here, again, very, it's an alien shooting, I don't know what kind of gun, with crazy visuals. Like, this is the best opportunity here that is served to you on a platter to make some crazy stuff out of it. Like, give it a voice, use your creativity, put some lasers to it, maybe put an alien scream in there, make it weird, like my button sounds. Just, yeah, go for it. And yes, good suggestion from Brent and Tyler. So Tonestorm, Traveler, and yes, Doppler Pro. Really awesome stuff. Put some cars through it, put some whoosh through it, put some different organic loops through it, and you can get some crazy cool. So yeah, I need to make some buttons for that. Again, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. And then the same with the logo. So yeah. Summed up, more details, make it pop, remove the music, and transients. Let's go. Next one. Jaipal Singh. Probably slaughtered the pronunciation, so apologies for that. Let's go. Nice. We've got also a second one for Wojciech, because I forgot. Apologies for that. But yes, also nice work, Wojciech. So yeah, this one here, I recorded this because it was sent to me from Vimeo, so that's why there's a thing in here. Oh, before I start, Brent, I would recommend not picking it up. I think just get better at using Traveler instead. I don't know how good Doppler Pro is, but I would probably assume that Traveler can do very, very similar things, if not the same stuff. And yeah, just like try and recreate the stuff with Traveler instead of spending more money. I will personally say, just my 2 cents. Yes, I got a soundboard. Well, I got a soundboard. I made a soundboard. I finally invested some time into it. Also, look at this, Tyler. You can see my face in big now. Which I'll just stay here. So, big things here. Let's push some buttons. First off, People will get so sick of these buttons. Yeah, so big details on this one. So we've got those juicy light hums and buzzes and crackling stuff, but also more than that, we also want to add some more ambience. Ambience, very, very important. And also I need a new button for Foley. In general, I think the biggest things here, if we just kind of listen to this and pause throughout. So this is really cool. I love the mood of this, the way you transition. I'm just gonna make this louder as well. All of this is a little bit quiet. So this is cool. I love this. The train sounds great. We're getting into this. I know that you wouldn't physically hear it, but I would already kind of maybe hint at it. And then here we hear it. This is nice. But again, first off, I think let's... It's not in sync at the end. So it turns off at the end again. Make sure that you have, especially on a thing like this where it's like that, you have all of that covered, because otherwise kind of like that stuff is like it really stands out, especially to someone like me who spent a long time working on just Foley and stuff like that, which I know this isn't Foley, but when you've done Foley, you're like a hawk when it comes to stuff that is synced or not. So yeah. Yeah, so all of this is cool, but here, so you're really missing like all the footsteps. I can't hear any of the footsteps, and I can't really hear any of the ambiences. So you've got like music in the background again. Music again, out please when it's a sound design reel, or clip for reel, and here what would be really cool is basically you have the transition between a subway underground or whatever, train underpass, and like an old church tunnel. So in the church tunnel and in this underpass you'd hear a lot of like reverb, and probably the reverbs will be slightly different because as you can see here, we've got like bigger ceilings than in here, which it's a little bit more kind of cramped, right? So big thing immediately to basically say, you know, change the Foley and everything in this, and just add a little bit more like sense of space, is to add a reverb here, and then just add in tons of Foley. So Foley for like the modern shoes, then Foley for like the whole assassin's outfit with all of the jangly bits and the brushy things that he has here. Yeah, there's no footsteps. There's not a lot going on here. I want to hear the actual like interactions of the phone. I want to hear pull out the knife and all of that, and then here again, it's all of a sudden now, okay, what's catching our attention? These two dudes. So give them some audio love, give them some Foley. Obviously they're not that close, but still this is what our eyes focus on, so we want to kind of make sure that we hear it, have at least some sound. Okay, and then here, so this is both of these sword sounds are super duper stereo. So make them mono, pan them, make sure that they're like in the right place. And then again, like no Foley. So just bring really like, we need to hear armor clanking and like running and all of that, and like the reverb of the tunnel they're in. And here again, like the body fall, it needs like tons of weight. Like it could be and like, yeah, get some beef into there, some low end and some more layers. Basically, yeah, you just really want to make it feel very, very physical and visceral and quite intense. And again, Foley at the end. And here they're waiting. I love to hear a leather jacket scrunch like while he's turning around. And then like an ambience change and stuff like that. And also here it's kind of like the same sound just twice, so bring some more variation into this, get a different sound, and also have something maybe here like in the background because it's just silent and there's movement going on here and stuff. So yeah. Hello Abdullah, can you criticize my short animation sound design if I send the video? Yes, but I mainly do game audio stuff, and also you can send it in, but there's a big backlog, so I probably won't get to it in like the next 2 months, so heads up. But you can absolutely send it into here. And yes, Brent, it's like a J-cut thing with the lights into the torch. Yeah, it's actually some really cool, like, it's an interesting concept for an ad actually. But yeah, same thing as well, like here with if you put this in your clip, like totally fair, good stuff. But also this is old, this is copyright here, 2014, old Ubisoft logo as well. So anything like that will just make, again, the sounds feel older as well. So just make sure that when you're doing stuff to try and get like up-to-date visuals, things that have come out in the last 3 years preferably. So yeah. Right. We are jamming absolutely through all of these, so making some good headway. If there's any questions as well, just shoot them in the chat. Thanks, Steven. I know, right? It's just I need to expand the soundboard now. If there's any suggestions as well, like shoot them in the comments, please. I'm, you know, definitely gonna make some more upgrades to it and get some more cool stuff in there. Yeah, I had a lot of fun designing these. I also now obviously have got some transitions with my Stream Deck, which is cool. But yeah, it'll be further upgraded in the near future, I'm sure. And I need more buttons as well. Well, not necessarily more buttons, but I need to make some more sounds. I definitely need like Foley in there. What else? A bunch of stuff. Mono. Yeah, I mean, I've got this one, which I guess is, it's not mono, it's stereo image, and the stereo image is part of the mono thing. But yeah, I think you're right, Tyler. Need a mono button. Need a mono button. All right. So last reel. Hey. Thank you so much for being part of the Airwiggle sound design contest. That was really cool to see that in there. So yeah, nice one. Right, let's get into it. First off, actually, Trey says, just a minute, my real, how backed up are you on submissions? Well, let me just check quickly. Hold on. I have 4, 5, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh my lord. 17 submissions with 4 submissions, 3 to 4 per... What is that? I'm bad at maths. Yeah, 3 to 4, about 5, 6 sessions. So I do one every 2 weeks. So 5 times 2, 10 week, 10 something. I don't know. Probably 3 months backlog, unfortunately. Because, yeah, I kind of only do these every kind of like 2 weeks. So and I feel like every time I do one of these, like I got 4 submissions today. Oh my god. This means that if we keep going like this, and it keeps like going up as well, every new stream will have like more submissions than we can get through. So it's gonna get pretty clogged. But I'll do my best. I'll do my very best. Maybe I'll have to start doing them like a little bit more consistently. Not that I'm not consistent, but like maybe every week or something for a little bit, just to make sure that we can get people's submissions up to date again. But I don't want to burn people out from real reviews, and I don't want to burn myself out either. So it's a tricky situation. But yeah. M0J, you should punch in real-time reverb on your voice during times when you say you need reverb here. Oh, awesome idea. Awesome idea. Oh, okay. This is good. I need to write these down. So we need, we've got reverb. Okay. Real-time reverb. Any other requests? Real-time reverb. Nice. I have sticky notes all over my desk. This is like I'm just absolutely drowning in sticky notes. It's unhealthy. Oh yeah, make it start super wide and then collapse it to mono at the end of the metal scream. Yes, because like, yeah, Tyler, you said make things mono needs to be a death metal vocals. I can't do death metal vocals at all, so I'm gonna have to need someone else to do them for me if we're doing that, because I don't have the skills, nor do I want to destroy my vocal cords with the lack of technique. So yeah, I'm gonna have to crowdsource this one, I think. If we can get anyone who can do that, that'd be sick. Send it in. Hyper newbie question, Greg. But why are you using wave out in Reaper right now? Wait, what? Wave out? What am I doing? Wave out. I don't quite understand your question. I might be the noob here. Yeah, sorry. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. What is wave out? Can someone explain? Santi, haha, those are quite a few reels. Thanks for taking the time. Yeah, for sure. It's sick. Like, I love it. I had to ask people like, please submit in the beginning, and now it's just like, oh lord, there's too many. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, Kay, awesome job. Really smashed it with this one. Straight up, very nice. But again, we start with silence. Just get rid of the silence, please. Bring in something here. Whoosh, and then start with that. Yeah, this is very cool. But then what happens is you can see in the waveform, you can also kind of hear it. The volume. It's a very, not very different, but it's a pretty different level. So if I just bring this up. Yeah, so here, basically, this feels super punchy and very, like, detailed and super in your ears. And then this clip comes in, and it's, like, way more quieter. So, like, I brought it up by 6 dB. And then the details in here, they feel really, like, compressed down. Like, all of this is like, really compressed. I'd love to hear those details again, like, louder, bring them up, maybe. Above the engine. Yeah, apart from that, that's really cool. So the first clip, let's just go through. step by step. Yeah, honestly, nothing really I would change here. This is very nice. I like it a lot. Also, in terms of time, this is a really nice, like, time for real. Like, this is a good balance of stuff. I think the main thing is there's, like, quite a long time in between these, even though you're bringing in the ambience in. I would almost, like, make it that it, like, you cut on the thing, bring it in a little bit before already. But now I've killed the timing here. Right, so then this second clip. So this is super cool. But I would really, really love to, again, hear all of those whooshes. So you're going past the listener here. And I know it's slow-mo, but even in slow-mo, I'd love to hear like a whoom or something like that. Like a whoom. And again. Whoom. Nice. And then like a little bit more perspective change would be nice in terms of like the different sounds of the motor, because when we're behind a car, we hear way more exhaust sounds, and when we hear a when we're in front of the car, we hear different stuff. I've been kind of delving into the world of cars a little bit recently, and so yeah, just basically kind of reference some more different car stuff and just kind of check like how they design it as well in terms of like front versus rear perspective. Let's see, back to questions. I guess I saw Wave Out as your audio device next to sample rate and bit depth on the top. Oh yeah. I don't know why I'm using that, to be honest. Just because it's working with my interface at the moment and I haven't put a lot of thought into it. Is that bad? I don't know. Brent, yeah, thanks for doing this stuff. Got some indispensable feedback from you over at Airwiggles too. Thank you for being here, Brent, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I would love to give more feedback on Airwiggles as well. I just find it hard sometimes to find the time in between everything. But yeah, there's so many cool submissions. And yeah, folks, if you're trying to get feedback as well on Airwiggles, feel free to upload stuff on there, airwiggles.com. But also, when you upload something, it would be great if you can also give feedback to someone else. So kind of like, I love the, you know, like you give and you get. So it's like, instead of just getting. So a little bit of giving, a little bit of getting, then it balances itself out. And Brent, I've seen you give some great feedback to others. So yeah, thanks for doing that. Tyler, cars are up there in my opinion. One of the hardest things to cut. Absolutely, for sure. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. It's really, really hard to do car stuff. But yeah, just here like more whooshes, more of those camera perspectives things. Really, really focus on that. And then here, when we're inside the cockpit, got a lot of high end here. A lot of. I'd love to hear a little bit more of a physical of the shifting and stuff. I know it's very cliche, but it's just kind of what you expect to hear when you see that as well. So yeah. Especially because this isn't like, it's a normal car. It's not like super futuristic. It's an whatever Audi A something. So yeah, you would kind of what's it called? Expect to hear that. Dream Petrucci. Yep, that's it. I thought maybe you used it specifically for streaming or whatever. Thanks for clearing up. Honestly, can someone enlighten me? I don't know. Is Wave Out a bad driver to use? Might be embarrassing for me. I don't know. I just know that I don't really usually use ASIO, and I think I used Direct Sound or something else, but then something messed up in my interface, and then I just switched it to this. So I don't know. This is the type of stuff I don't pay a huge amount of attention to. It sounds good in my headphones. It sounds good out of my out of my speakers. So I guess it works. Cool, very nice. I'd love to hear a little bit more. Whatever it's called, like pine trees and stuff. Leaves in there. And probably a little bit more like low-end rumble in the distance, because at the end here we've got a lot of debris, and usually I would say debris are amazing, but right here they don't really fit well because we can't see any debris. It felt like all of this was happening more in the distance, so the debris, when they're really stereo, it just feels like, you know, dust is coming around us and stuff, but it's not. It's like in the distance, all of this, so I'd put a low pass on that stuff, remove the debris, and get more of a like a distant rumble, like at the end to tail it off, so that it feels like it's going in the distance still. Here as well, maybe bring in a sound for this potentially, in a subtle way. Foley's really nice. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm a little bit split on this. I think the concept is really cool, but I'm not sure if the tape rewind sound works, even though I kind of get what's happening here. It's just that the tape rewind sound in all of this very, what's the word? Very like physical, like earthy, grounded, kind of, you know, eerie, moody vibe just kind of doesn't really fit in. So I would try and play around with kind of like different rewind sounds. Maybe you could get some earth and debris stuff and then rewind that to make it like that kind of like sound rather than the rewind, because obviously the rewind works really well in terms of information, but in the world building and the feedback, it doesn't quite fit in my opinion. So I would change that up a little bit. And then that boom at the end. So that just also, I'm being really nitpicky here. But basically that sounds a little bit more like a drum, and again, it's got a lot of high end. All of this. I would love to hear more of a like a lot more low end, like the entire earth is moving. Basically, rule of thumb, the bigger the thing, the lower the frequency. Bear versus mouse. You know, earthquake versus me dropping a stone on the floor. So yeah, you really want to have like a lot of low end like coming into this. And then when it impacts, when it stops, it would be cool to have more of something like that rather than just a bonk. Yeah. Hey Presley, nice to see you here. So Steve says organic. Tyler, tape rewind sound is more modern, whereas this is an older piece. Yeah, I definitely agree. I like the idea of tape rewind. I'm wondering if you can morph it with some reversed earthquakes, rock rumbles, etc. Get the vibe from the tape rewind, but with more appropriate audio. Absolutely, yes. Make it fit the visuals, make it fit the aesthetic. But I think the idea of the rewind is very cool. So yeah, for sure, 100% what Presley just said. Yeah, absolutely. Same again here, just like more low end, and yeah, that's stuff. And did I see what you did on here? Indie game, audio redesign, cool. So one of the big things as well, what themes we've had during this whole thing is the music thing. So we usually really don't like hearing music because again, it kind of hides a lot of things. So here, I would prefer if you were to remove the music, even though the music is very nice in setting the mood, and basically bring in a lot more ambience pieces instead, elements like spot effects that you can pan around the place, maybe some background wind, like you've got big pine trees, so it seems like there's like some kind of wind animation here, whatnot, and maybe that's just a rewind. Yeah, yeah, there's definitely like some wind particle stripey things in there, so can definitely add some more wind and stuff like that in the, and maybe some animals, maybe like a distant owl, things that make it feel a little bit eerie and spooky, and yeah, just then bring the music out and replace it with that to really get that like aesthetic and feel. Yay. This was such a fun competition. I loved watching all of the different like entries and listening to them very much. Oh, it was awesome. So hard picking winners though, because y'all did an incredible job, all of the submissions, and we had so many as well. Yeah, so all of these elements are really cool. The ding is great. I kind of feel weird giving feedback on this because it was like a thing where everyone kind of, I don't know, it was very much a creative exercise, so it feels almost wrong giving feedback on this. So take this with a pinch of salt. This is after listening to like a million of different ones and kind of like picking the elements, I guess, from all the ones I've liked. So yeah, again, caveat, this is this is with this context in mind, I guess. Yeah, so I think the main thing that's missing for me here is basically, I really like the whole like idea of the ding going into the reverse and all. But personally, I don't quite feel like it fits. And again, this is very much an aesthetic choice and personal whatever flavor. And then I'd like to hear a little bit more of a transient in the background of these. I know that everything is low pass and stuff and that they're not in the focus, but it's just such a key moment in my opinion where all the background is like exploding, and I'd just love to hear that a little bit more in the texture of it all. And yeah, that sounds really cool. Maybe a little bit more detail in the water with all of that. Oh, and actually, I forgot in the previous one, I have a button for this now. Ambience. There we go. Yeah, so, once again, very awesome job. This is a very nice reel, and I think, yeah, you've done a really good job with this. Again, main ones, like, make sure that your levels are relatively even, because like I said here, obviously I had to turn it up by like 6 and kind of like 9 dB. Having dynamics is really good, but having like whole clips be different volumes is something that's not desirable, because I don't want to touch my volume knob while I'm listening to reels if I can help it. And yeah, then the other thing is in here, again, like I said, those whooshes, those cinematic things, I think that needs to be a button, like cinematic whooshes. But yeah, and then of course at the beginning, silence is a sin. I think that needs to be a button as well. Yeah. Oh, and Steve said, rather than music, would be cool to try and get some FX going with an acoustic guitar to get the same vibe. That is a great idea, actually. You can get some interesting stuff out of that, I think. So yeah, that's a nice idea, Steve. I like it, yeah. Get creative and just kind of give it your own voice, I guess. That's my recommendation. What else do we have? Yeah, with this, again, more low end and all of that stuff, and ambiences. And if you get a more exciting clip as well, obviously it's awesome to have this in here and everything, and it makes me very happy personally. But it'd be great to have another kind of more game related thing in there. And yeah, in general, I think like this reel, if you're applying for game stuff, it's only got one game thing in here, so I would definitely say try and get more game stuff in here, because even though, you know, sound design is transferable and all, like trailers and especially like redesigns of things like this where it's actual gameplay sequences give us a lot better of an idea kind of where your skills are at, and how you can kind of fit into the potential project that we're working on when we're hiring and stuff like that. So yeah, that's another tip. And just kind of a little bit more action in the whole reel. I know this is kind of controversial, but yeah, basically stuff that really hooks you, that brings you in, that kind of like, yeah, stuff that you don't want to kind of click through, that kind of keeps your attention. And I think in terms of that, personally, we've managed it pretty well. So yeah, really, really great job. Yeah, that was a great session today. We ran through all of them, and yeah, it's been very, very fun hanging out with all of you. Does anyone have any questions or such? Yeah, great job to all the people with submitting reels. I'm sorry that there's such a backlog. Also, Ash was meant to be on here, but he couldn't make it today because of work stuff, so he'll be in another episode soon. But I'm thinking I might do a couple more of these to clear the backlog, and I'll just do them myself maybe, because I can get through a bunch of the stuff. Although it's always way cooler to have a guest. It's more fun for me. It's great to have a second or even a third voice that's not just my personal opinion and people to bounce off of, but it's easy for me to just like boom run through them. So yeah, a give and a take. But yeah, anyway, have a wonderful evening, everyone, or day or morning, wherever you're at in the world. And thank you for joining me again today. It's been a real pleasure. And also shoot some suggestions from our buttonins in the comments. I need to start getting some more in there. And of course, if anyone has a death metal scream that they can do where they can say, what was it that Tyler suggested? Mono or something like that. Make it mono. Yeah, send that into my inbox as well. Anyways, it's been good, and until next time.